Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to highlight some historic low Steam game deals. One on a very notable title hitting a new low price point, and we've got some other historic lows, some lower key titles that I've dug up thanks to SteamDB. You know, they make it pretty easy for me, but I pick out the games that look good to me, at least interesting to mention, that are super cheap, under $2, under $1 on some of these. So we'll talk about that. Got a couple of other deals and a new release that is discounted in early access. It's the follow-up title to a game that I'm a huge fan of. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But right off the bat, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is 45% off for $33. The Gold Edition and the Ultra Edition are also 45% off. I really would not recommend either editions of those games if you're just looking to save money. You got some cosmetics and things of that nature. Look, if you care about that kind of stuff, I guess go pick up the Gold Edition, but for the game itself, I think this price point is awesome. I've been talking up Space Marine 2 since it came out back in September of last year, and I loved the game. To me, it was a throwback to the heyday of the era of shooters and multiplayer games that I love. The late PlayStation, I shouldn't say late, like the mid-PlayStation 3 era, you know, the Killzone 2s, the Gears of War 2s on Xbox, etc., etc., and Space Marine 2 reminded me so much about, like, a peak Gears of War game in the terms of chaos, brutality, you know, things of that masculine energy, testosterone-infused energy. But I really had a great time with Space Marine 2. Yes, the campaign is super short, but you get replayability with the PvP, PvE. Siege mode just came out as well. That adds more replayability, and they're prepping up a one-year anniversary update, I believe, here, coming out in September. So there's going to be more content coming to the game, and it's one of those games that they're going to perpetually keep updated. So if you buy it, you know, you're going to get one of those experiences that just gets more and more free content. And at this point, we don't have any paid DLC in the sense of paid content. There's the cosmetics and whatnot, but as far as the content and the gameplay, all of that is available. And I think the campaign's great. It's one of those campaigns that I'll go back and play through every couple of years, just because I thought it was so fun, especially if you have a couple of friends to go through. I think it's a great time. So at this price point, definitely think it's a good pickup. $33 for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I do think it'll hit $30 by September, you know, like the one-year anniversary update coming out and then them slashing it 50% off. I feel like that's going to be pretty likely, so keep that in mind if you're not that, you know, not that gung-ho on picking it up right now. Alright, moving on from that, Dead Cell, 60% off for $9.99. You do have the Medley of Pain bundle, 51% off for $19.55. They do have an Expedition 33 and Dead Cells bundle, 27% off for $49.48. Expedition 33 is going for $45, so essentially you'd be getting Dead Cells for $5, which is a really good deal. Kind of a weird bundle there, but nevertheless, Dead Cells is awesome. It is the roguelite Metroidvania that is really up my alley. I know that this market is just, you know, heavy with a lot of these games of these styles, but Dead Cells is the one that I constantly go back to, had a great time with it, and it's one of those games that, to me, started off fairly simple, and then as you got more abilities, as you explored more, you realize, holy hell, this game has a lot of depth to it, and yeah, it can be quite challenging, but had a great time with it for $9.99. Think that's a great pickup, and I would recommend the Medley of Pain bundle to get all of the DLC. Return to Castlevania's in there as well, which is fantastic. You know, Castlevania crossover is always going to be a pretty cool thing, and Dead Cells does it pretty well, so yeah, great price on that, and that is a historic low on that. Alright, now we've got a bunch of historic lows on deals under $1 and $2. Let's bang these out quickly because they're lower key games that recently just hit these price points. Never Again is 94% off for 83 cents. Very positive reception on this one. A horror title, a horror first-person quest. The main essence of the game is research locations and puzzles, plunging in the dramatic story of a little girl suffering from asthma. So that is available for 83 cents. You got Suicide Guy, Lost in Dreams. That is 79% off for $1.67. Very positive reception with 58 reviews, 86% positive. The Lost Dreams is the new chapter from the Suicide Guy game series, a first-person puzzle game set in a world of crazy new dreams. In this adventure, you'll have to find a way to wake up from your nightmare. That is available for $1.67. You got Pixel Cafe, 94% off for 77 cents. Love the throwback visual style in this. Step into the Pixel's shoes in this one-of-a-kind journey that bridges time, memories, and the aroma of fresh coffee, dive deep into a city balancing its past and future, engage in intense arcade challenges, immerse yourself in heartfelt stories, and navigate a world crafted in pixel art. That is available for just 77 cents. You've got Shiro, 90% off for 99 cents. Also throwback visual style and adventure platformer in which you have to find your missing sister. Holo and Shiro are twin sisters who travel the world since childhood in search of adventure. Once they were attacked by the evil witch Satella and took Shiro to her gloomy cave, now Holo has to find their sister. Help Holo find their sister, overcome a dense forest, an ancient temple, dangerous dungeons, and destroy enemies in this pixelated adventure platformer. 99 cents on that. Commando Hero, 43% off for $227. Very positive reception on this. 144 user reviews. Hero who wants to be Commando has to pass difficult tracks, finish the track fast, and enter the leaderboard. Came out a couple of years ago. Commando Hero is a third-person platform game. Finish the track in the fastest time. You have to be fast. Your reflexes must be strong, and you'll get a rank as you pass the obstacles. Very simple game, but $227 on that. The Deadseat, 34% off for $1.97. Very positive reception on this. 365 reviews, 97% positive, so it would have the overwhelmingly positive distinction if it had more reviews. You are in the backseat of your parents' car during a long drive. As your parents begin fighting, your handheld game is your only source of entertainment, but the game begins to mirror real life. Collect items on the handheld game to send them to your world and use them to defend against the monstrosity that's trying to make its way in. The Deadseat includes a terrifying short main campaign and a hard mode which continues the story at a horrifying level of difficulty. Again, really positive reception on that. $1.97 for the Deadseat. So those are the historic lows that I did want to mention. Again, super cheap titles if you do want to check out, have a gander at them. Couple more notes. Assassin's Creed is having a sale on Steam right now with a bunch of games discounted. I'll throw a mention to Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is 75% off for $7.49. I do think this is probably the most underrated Assassin's Creed game of all time, just because it came out the year following Assassin's Creed Unity, which Unity was a disaster. Syndicate actually was a great game. I like the open world. I like the traversal in this game, a big world as well. But of the classic Assassin's Creed style and the final game in the classic Assassin's Creed style, and since then I think Assassin's Creed has been fried, but I know there's a large portion of people that love the newer style of Assassin's Creed games, so hey, more power to them. But I love the Syndicate and pre-Syndicate games. Outside of Syndicate, a bunch of other games are discounted. Assassin's Creed Rogue, another underrated Assassin's Creed title, is $5.99. Syndicate, like I said, $7.49. Black Flag, the Gold Edition, $11.99. But the rumbling has it that that's getting remade, so keep that in mind. Odyssey is $11.99. Valhalla is $14.99, and Shadows is still 25% off. But yeah, Syndicate 75% off for $7.49. And then finally, I do want to note that it is Descenders Day, and we have the surprise release of Descenders Next in early access. I love Descenders, which, by the way, the original game is 75% off for $6.24. One of those games that's just such a relaxing cycling game. I love the soundtrack to it. And now we have Descenders Next. Grab your board and master the mountain. Descenders Next is the ultimate extreme sports game with sprawling snowy peaks, winding dirt tracks, and tons of parks to conquer. Will you and your friends become the next ultimate Descenders? Launch discount 10% off for $27. And obviously it is in early access, so keep in mind of that. Ride your way every way, find your own path, and attack the mountain style. Ride solo or multiplayer, freestyle, board control, showcase your skills, build your reputation, ride to banger after banger, Descendant style to the perfect soundtrack from Monster Cat, and become the next Descender. Complete all the challenges the world has to offer and reach the ranks of the legendary Descenders. That is available for $27. Is Steam Deck verified, just dropped today, but yeah, you can check that out, and I love me some Descenders. So Descenders Next available now in early access. I will be checking that out. I'll be paying the $27. I put an absurd amount of hours into the original Descenders, but yes, Descenders Next is available now in early access, and that's going to do it for me. Again, Space Marine 2 having a historic low price point right now, 45% off for $33, and a lot of other great deals available right now as well. That's going to do it for me. Links to everything as always in the description box below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.